Now, with many losing their job as a result of the coronavirus crisis, there is one role that is becoming increasingly popular, being a foster carer. The National Fostering Group reports today that in April this year, it received 3,000 inquiries from people. That's an 84% increase on the same period last year. The organisation believes the surge in applications has been driven by the extreme hardship endured by those in areas like hairdressing and hospitality, who are now looking for more stable job opportunities. Let's talk now to Steve Christie, who's the MD of the National Fostering Group, as well as Sarah and David McMillan, who've just applied to become foster parents, and Nathan Page, who's been fostering with his partner Anthony for over 2 years. Both families have financially felt the effects of the lockdown. Welcome all of you. Nathan, so you foster a 12-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy. Tell us what it's like.
It's very rewarding. It goes without saying that there's going to be challenges along the way, but as you get further and further down the line, all these rewards start coming back to you, and all the challenges become tiny little things that were just bumped in the road, really.
Okay, and during lockdown, I think your past partner did lose his job, and you're a barber, so you've not been working. Has the financial help that comes from being a foster carer helped you both?
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a real lifeline. It's meant that we've got a roof over our head, food on the table. We've been able to keep the kids fed, clothed. But I think what we need to remember is ultimately that money is for the children, and it's not there just as a financial benefit for us, but it's to keep those children safe and to keep a roof over the head and give them the best life possible.
Sure. Sarah and David, hello to you in Clitheroe. You have 2 children, aged 8 and 5, and you want to foster. Tell us why.
Yeah, so we just want to help kids, basically. But it's always been something we've always wanted to do. But we've never been as stable as where we're at now. We've got us 2 kids. We've always wanted us 2 kids. So now we've got that. Now we're in a better position where our youngest is 5-year-old, where she don't get too jealous and stuff, and she's got to the age where she understands a bit more and she wants to help kids too. So that's one of our reasons.
And what do you say, Sarah?
Yeah, it's just to give a child a better life, really, and just like give them happy memories and stuff.
Yeah. What's the process like, Sarah, for being approved? What kind of things do you have to go through?
They just like have a look at your house just to see if you've got like a spare room and things, and then you fill out an application form. But if you've got any like questions or anything, you can just ring them at any time, and they're there just to help you all along.
Is it doable, David, for anybody watching who might be interested in becoming a foster carer? Is it doable, or do you feel really under scrutiny, which is probably quite right?
No, I think it's really doable. I think it's you just got to look at it as a positive thing. So it's all about the kids at the end of the day. Once you get to a certain age and you've done, everything that you want to do in life, I reckon everybody should do it if they've got room to do it and they've got a stable life. Yeah.
Let's bring in Steve Christie from the National Fostering Group. Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Hi, Victoria. Hi.
Now, there was, I think, a 7,000 shortfall of foster carers before lockdown. What about now?
Yeah, I mean, that was even before the pandemic. And I think the Children's Commissioner has recently said that she thinks that this pandemic is going to cause a lot more children to be taken into care. And that's normally what happens in times when there's sort of increased poverty that leads to neglect. So I think that the shortfall beforehand sort of aggregated with the shortfall that will be created by the pandemic is going to sort of lead to almost a crisis in social care. So there is a desperate need for foster carers across the country. And anybody who's thinking about becoming a foster carer, I really would urge them to look into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
There are so many positives.
Well, tell us what the positives are. Why has it become appealing? Why is it appealing?
Well, I mean, it's a nice way to earn a living, and I know that the foster carer that you were talking to was talking about the money is for the child, and that's true. But it's also to compensate for the carers for their time in looking after a child. I mean, a lot of people have got used to sort of working from home. And it's a job that fits in around the family, and it's a job where you're working from home. And I think the other thing which is critically important is it helps to break the cycle of neglect. And if you look at a lot of looked after children, they are birth children of parents who were also in the social care system. Our foster carers do an incredible job providing a loving and a nurturing home for these highly vulnerable children. And what that does is it gives them a springboard to go on and have a life where they can achieve and not necessarily sort of be involved in that sort of cycle of neglect. So it is so important to society and to give these children a great opportunity to go on. And the foster carers that we've got within the National Fostering Group do an incredible job. There are heartwarming stories that I hear every day about the children that looked after children that are within loving foster homes that achieve incredible things and go on and have successful lives.
And can you tell us what the payment is for foster carers? Is it a weekly payment or monthly?
Yeah, I mean, it works out between sort of £22,000 and £24,000 per year per child, and that's obviously when you've got a child with you. And that does include all the costs. So, for example, the food and the clothing and trips out and holidays and things like that with your foster child. It's not. Or a certain percentage of it is exempt from tax. So that's a sort of tax-free sum. Obviously, if you have more than one child, then that might be different, and you probably have to take your own financial advice about how that would play out.
Okay.
But I mean, there are lots of people that have great. That it fits really well within their lifestyle,
Sure.
and they get a huge amount of. It's hugely rewarding, I think, being a foster carer.
Nathan, hugely rewarding. What is the most challenging element, Nathan, of being a foster carer?
For me personally, it's the constant sibling rivalry. I'm an only child, so that was a massive adjustment for me. But yeah, you kind of sometimes feel like you've got to step in, but you feel a little guilty stepping in because at the end of the day, you're just standing in the shoes of their parents, and you don't want to hurt their feelings because you want to keep them as close to you as possible. You want to keep that relationship best you can with them.
Yeah, that's so interesting. You mean because they may have come from a difficult background, you as the foster carer want to love and nurture them, but sometimes it's hard to do the disciplining, potentially?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to feel any more hurt.
Yeah, okay. Well, Sarah, David, good luck with your application.
Thank you.
I hope it goes well. Sarah and David McMillan just applied to become foster parents. Nathan, well done to you and Anthony, foster
you.
carers for 2 years. And Steve Christie, thank you very much for talking to us, Managing Director of the National Fostering Group.